Hey, you're hearing the voice of Meteorologist Catherine Bodak. So I'm here doing the noon weather stream for us today. So here's a look at that full screen there. Typically you'd have Ashley Smith today, and today you get me. So we're going to have a look at the weather discussion. We're going to talk a little bit about what you can expect here the next couple days. We do have some rain chances to pass along to you. So we'll talk about all those things. So hopefully you guys can hear me. We are good to go, I think. So yes, our noon, 19 at noon live stream. So we are going to have a look at some chances for possibly some rain, thunderstorms in today's forecast. Best bet for those would be in the afternoon and evening, and we are going to be still looking out for a very hot and muggy forecast for us. So today we're going to make it to about 90, but it'll feel a little bit warmer than that. And I'm just waiting for this graphic to time out here, and hopefully I can get you to your weather headlines, where we are going to be looking out for those temperatures here over the next couple days to kind of be up and down a bit. We'll have some days in the 90s, and we'll have some days that'll be in the 80s, which is pretty close to normal. But as far as our storm severe weather risk, that will be limited here heading into the afternoon hours. You know, we could have a few stronger storms, but a lot of us just kind of looking out for those run-of-the-mill thunderstorms, and then additional chances for showers and thunderstorms on Wednesday, and we could use the rain. So let's time out some rain, thunderstorms out there right now. Let's take a look at what's going on here on our Doppler radar, where you can see not too far off to the north, you can see some of these heavier downpours here. So this is Muncie, Indiana, seeing some of that heavy rain at the moment. Eaton seeing some of that also, and we can kind of see maybe this will give us some rainfall ideas here. Let's see, this is thinking about 2 inches per hour, so that's really heavy. You know, it'd be they're moving pretty quickly, so you're not going to probably see that much rain happen, but you can certainly see that there are some heavier downpours associated with this here. So let me back up a bit. So that's kind of one batch that we're looking at that will kind of move maybe into some of our northwestern areas. So that would include Connorsville, maybe Brookville here in the next couple hours. But this is all part of a cluster of showers and thunderstorms. I can put on the lightning data for you. You can see there's a lot of lightning associated with this. So we are looking at nothing severe at this moment, but we could certainly see maybe some stronger storms potentially later on this afternoon. So yeah, that's what we have going on, at least near term. Most of that activity is to the north of us. Here close to home, we're looking at the cloud cover on the increase. And again, there's that batch of wet weather. And that wet weather will be moving on in this afternoon. We'll get a brief break, and then heading into tomorrow, we'll have another chance for some rain and thunder. And you can see here the Storm Prediction Center. They're based out of Norman, Oklahoma. They pick out different parts of the country that have a higher likelihood of maybe some stronger storms. And part of our viewing area has been placed under that higher likelihood. So anytime you start getting into that slight risk range, which title-wise doesn't seem all that impressive, but you know, for those of you who are looking out for strong to severe storms, there may be a couple scattered within that yellow kind of range there. So we're going to see a few of those possible, especially for folks in our central and northwestern areas. The time frame on this now looks to be in between about 3 and 8 o'clock this evening. And so if you are in some of our northwestern areas, a higher likelihood that you might get a couple of those stronger storms. But Wilmington, Maysville, Owenton, you're not going to say you're not going to have any thunderstorms, but you probably won't have any severe weather alerts issued as a result of those storms that move through your area. So we're warming up. We're going to make it to the low 90s today, so it's going to be a muggy forecast for us. We're sitting right now in the 80s area-wide. You're at 80 degrees in Maysville, 85 right now in Brooksville. Those temperatures, getting into the low 90s today will be a touch on the muggy side, so it may feel more like the low 90s, maybe even mid 90s there, heading into the late morning and early afternoon. afternoon, but we're not dealing with those heat indices, up over 100 degrees that we had recently in our forecast. Let's talk a little bit about the heat index. That was one part of the reason why we were calling it dangerously hot last week. You get these heat index values over 100 degrees, you start kind of running the risk of heat stroke and heat-related illnesses. So our heat index actually close to what our actual air temperature is. So then you can head over to the dew points here and measure of how much moisture is in the air. So if you have a higher dew point, there's more moisture the air can hold. So right now dew points are in the 60s, which, not too bad. It's a touch on the muggy side, but we're not looking at conditions too out of hand yet. You start getting dew points in the 70s. That's when it starts feeling more like a tropical air mass. And yesterday they were great. They were in the 50s, so we're feeling pretty good there. So let's do your hour by hour now. We're taking you to about 4 o'clock this afternoon, where you can see that's when that line will be moving into our central counties. So by 4 o'clock, we're thinking Lawrenceburg may see a few of those showers and storms. VV, Cincinnati, Florence, you might see some of those showers and storms as well. By 5 o'clock, those are now moving into our southern and southeasternmost areas. So that includes Maysville, Batavia, Georgetown. It's in between about 5, 6 o'clock this evening, and then by about 6 we're already drying out and clearing out also to the north and west. But we are not out of the woods yet, because we are going to see additional chances for rain, thunderstorms in tomorrow's forecast. Model's been kind of going back and forth a little bit with this, now kind of pushing the chances for rain late tomorrow into the early afternoon. Again, this is for Wednesday, so by the time we make it to around 8 o'clock, we're still holding off on the rain. 10 o'clock, most areas still holding off on those showers, and we're going to keep the showers out of here, or they'll be in the forecast still in the early afternoon, but eventually work their way out by the evening hours. So in between about 4 or 5 o'clock, we're already starting to dry out, especially if you're in our northwestern areas. So look at those shower chances here on Wednesday to be more of a late morning, early afternoon event. And then as we head into the weekend, we'll also be watching out for some additional shower chances. And again, this is some much needed rain in the tri-state. So any little bit we can get, is a good thing. And so in our hour by hour forecast, you'll see as we head into the weekend, we're starting to bring back some more rain chances. And this is late morning hours on Saturday, in between about 9 and 10, looking out for some of that wet weather here. And then mid-afternoon, this is 3 o'clock, where you can see we have those shower and thunderstorm chances out there. We're going to keep those chances around into the evening hours on Saturday, and maybe a few will linger overnight Saturday into early Sunday. But Sunday afternoon, this is 3:30, in between about 3, 4 o'clock on Sunday there. Not a bad forecast. In fact, Sunday afternoon and evening is probably going to feel pretty nice for us as high pressure builds back on into the north and west. So we're going to keep an eye on some dry weather eventually working back on in for the second half of the weekend. And in the 7-day forecast, you can see kind of that all going on. So today, tomorrow, more so of the scattered, if not isolated, variety of shower and storm potential. And then we have those 2 dry days, Thursday and Friday, where temperatures not looking all that bad. We'll be in the 80s on those days, pretty close to normal actually. And we have another warm day expected on Saturday. That'll be our warmest day that we see here out of the next 7, and we may feel a touch more on the humid side as well. Saturday, again, we're watching out for rain and thunderstorm potential, and then on Sunday, we could see a few lingering, and if we do, it'd mainly be early in the day. And then Monday also looking warm at about 91. So what do we have beyond the next 7 days? What can we look forward to in terms of, the heat, the humidity? Well, it looks like we're still kind of trending toward this warmer than normal stretch. So, typically when you transition out of, this El Nino pattern, or a La Nina pattern into a La Nino pattern, you can get oftentimes a hot, dry summer. And that's kind of what we're already getting into. And this would be for the first part of July here, still looking hotter than normal with the northern tier of the country still looking colder than normal, and that's on average. It doesn't mean that you won't get one cold day or one warm day in those places. You know, it's just the overall trend of what we're going to see. And it might be worth kind of poking around this drought monitor here a bit, because we need the rain. So it's been quite some time since we've had some steady rain in our region. So right now we're in that abnormally dry kind of range, and that's mainly for our central and northernmost areas. So again, we could use some rain, that's for sure. We're hot and dry though meantime, and we are going to see for us this afternoon those high temperatures once again, making it to about 90. It's going to be a warm and slightly muggy one. You know, we may feel more like the mid 90s at times, but we're not dealing with that extreme heat that we had in our forecast last week, that's for sure. Now we have a Reds game to look forward to this evening. First pitch is going to be at 7:10, and we do have some rain chances, like we mentioned, but hopefully most of the wet weather's out of here by the game so it can start on time. But you'll be able to get the game in, that's for sure. Seventh inning, we are looking out for dry weather, and by the end of the game, we're going to drop those temps to about 80. So not a bad forecast, I'd say, this evening. Certainly, if you do dodge some of those showers, overnight we'll fall back to about 73 degrees, and then as we head into tomorrow, we'll make it to about 85. Scattered showers, perhaps some isolated rumbles of thunder tomorrow. Otherwise, we're pretty close to where we should be. You know, 85 is the average, and that's what we'll see in tomorrow's forecast. So we usually wrap things up here with one more check of the 7-day. And I would say, you know, temperature-wise, I mean, it's summer. It's the end of June, early July here coming up around the corner. Summertime temperatures not too bad overall, kind of summing this up for us. And as we head into the next couple days, I mean, rain chances, we could use a few more out there, but we'll take the rain when we can get it. And we have those chances for today and tomorrow, with our next best bet of wet weather arriving over the weekend. So that would most likely be Saturday into Sunday. Other than that, though, we get some nice nights to cool off, especially those nights you get into the low 60s. Friday morning, we'll see that, and then we'll rebound nicely into the upper 80s there, heading into the afternoon hours on Friday. So you get a nice kind of rebound in the temperature department once you get that cool start, and then overnight lows, once you get in the 90s, get a bit warmer, dropping into the 70s. But at least we're not dealing with a prolonged stretch of those 90-degree days like we did. You know, that's, again, when you start worrying about excessive heat. But for us, it looks like just kind of those occasional 90-degree days, which I know a lot of folks do enjoy. Especially, we want to get out, you want it to be pool weather, you want to enjoy it that way. So yeah, you'll be able to do so over the next couple days. Just be mindful when thunder roars, go indoors, because that's what they say with those thunderstorms. You don't want to be running the risk of any thunderstorms while you're out in the pool. And it's a good reminder too, it doesn't have to be a severe storm for it to be dangerous. Any thunderstorm can be dangerous, because all thunderstorms have with them the lightning. So yeah, thanks for joining us today on our weather stream, 19 at noon. Typically you don't get me. I'm usually doing the 9, 10, and 11 o'clock shows, and then the 3 and the 4 Monday through Friday, and then you get Ashley and Ethan otherwise. So I want to say thanks to the folks who tuned in today, and I hope you all have a good day. Stay safe out there. Bye.